The S&P 500, the Nasdaq 100, that's what we're discussing here on the day. And we basically ended up at that major key level, the previous highs we established from May 23rd. You go into the 2 hour, you can kind of see we pushed into new local highs on the day, then kind of shot down near the end of the day. Broad market, though, we look a little bit at the SPY, we look at everything else, and it wasn't like that terrible. Again, we're still above major key levels. We just ended at those major highs, right? The Dow, we go look at Dow futures as well. You know, you couldn't hold above 39K, ended up shooting down. The Dow is probably the worst looking index of all. Now, the biggest thing that came out today was your jobs data we talked about previously. And today was kind of tricky. If you don't follow me on Twitter, I recommend doing so. I give you updates in the morning and around news events like this. So last night, or actually this morning at 7:30, an hour before market open, give or take, you get your data pool come in, you get your unemployment rate and your non-farm payrolls. Now, non-farm payrolls is really important, so is unemployment. So this is where things get interesting. So you see non-farm payrolls come in well above expectations of 182K jobs, right? So jobs really get added in here from 182 to 272. But where things get interesting is you get unemployment released as well, and it rises from 3.9% to 4%, getting back to its highest level since 2021. So that's where things, in my opinion, there's like a little bit of a disconnect. Is because when you look at this, it's like, well, what do you go by? Because you're, obviously unemployment rates rising and the Fed's clearly talking about that. But on the other side of this is, non-farm payrolls. And again, this goes way back to, when the trend started flipping back to the upside on, people losing their jobs. So this is definitely interesting because you're seeing unemployment tick to the upside for sure. Non-farm payrolls has been a little bit back and forth, but this is very interesting where you kind of sat at. Now, pre-market, we saw what happened with the Nasdaq and ES. You saw some selling kind of occur. And so pre-market, you immediately see that kind of drop occur to where you fall down here and you get bought back right around 7:45 into market open, getting you right back to where you were and eventually pushing back into highs by around noon. And so that's where the things really, to me, were kind of difficult to understand is like, what are we really siding with here? So there wasn't a lot of trades going on for me today. I was more of just watching kind of how we reacted. Now, going into next week, we'll have more responses from the Fed and get some more data as well. I'll go more into that data on Sunday, hopefully. But that's the biggest thing here is I don't think today was bad at all. But the other part of this I will add in is that your volume continues to be pretty low. To give you a for instance is when you look at volume, yesterday was your lowest volume, I think in 18 years? I'm pretty positive. Me and Jordan were talking about it today. I'm pretty positive this was the lowest volume that you've had in around 18 years, excluding holidays. Yeah. So from bar chart, you can actually see they reported this. SPY finished with the lowest volume yesterday, excluding holidays and shortened days. So pretty incredible. Like, I will say that. Okay. So things to be looking at, things to be considering, a little bit of like, up in the air moments right here, but things to be looking at.
Okay, so this is probably not the first time that you've seen me talk a lot about the sponsor of today's video, Moomoo, but I haven't told you about why I decided to partner with them, and I just want to be transparent about what's happening there and why they're going to be a partner for the foreseeable future. So partnering with Moomoo for me has been a little bit of a game changer in what we're doing with the channel because we like to do a lot of free content, but ultimately what we're doing with them is unlike any other trading platform. Moomoo has a super robust, user-friendly mobile platform when it comes to news, when it comes to options, their watch list, everything like that. The mobile and desktop allows me to effortlessly look through and analyze everything that I'm looking at. It's all kind of in one place, especially before executing anything. And speaking of executing, Moomoo is offering a zero contract fee for options and only charges 50 cents when you're trading index options. So very important to know that as well. Unlike other platforms which have a similar offer, Moomoo provides me with deep analysis and unusual options activities. So instead of using other platforms, I can kind of do most of my work in one platform just like this. And this is the desktop platform just so you can see where I can look at unusual activity as well. If you are interested, there's never been a better time because right now new users will get a 1.5% cash reward up to $300, or if you're just getting started, you'll get 7 free fractional shares up to $5 per if you make a qualified deposit bonus. Just go to moomoo.com. It shows you all of this. It's right there in front of you, so you can make sure you have all that understand. They want to help you kickstart your journey when it comes to investing. Check them out. The link is down below.
Now I'm going to go into equities and go into stocks, but really quick, we're going to go into DXY and what's happening there. You're seeing the dollar bounce right back over the 200 SMA. This was something I was worried about. And we talked about non-farm payrolls have something to do with this. And you are seeing that bounce occur right from non-farm payrolls to the upside. So we'll see if that calms down in the short term. We'll see what happens there. You go into oil. Oil is also getting a bounce, but rejecting off the 200 weekly right there. That's a major thing you need to be watching right now because, again, you haven't been able to hold below the 200 weekly, and you're kind of getting a hold now. So we'll see how that plays out. We go to the 30-year yield. and we see the yield getting back above the 200 SMA. So the question is does this hold? We'll see. So far, great candle on the day. A little bit worrisome, but we'll need to see how the Fed interprets this data as well. Now, from this, we go and look at stocks and what's happening there. First of all, I want to talk about Bitcoin real quick. Just do. So Bitcoin kind of just sitting flat right now. This weekend, I think it's going to be super interesting, and you need to be paying attention. Can you get above this trend line, right? Right now, you're rejecting at it. If you break above that, I think you push in the highs easy, probably towards 80K. Now, going in a little bit further, really quick, going into Monday and next week. All to be bullish, it's very simple here, guys. I'm going to keep it extremely short and to the point. You stay above 53.33, your previous high here, you're bullish. That's simple. Go into Qs, you stay above your level here, 460, you're bullish. That's it. Any type of retest you're looking to buy, in my opinion, as you're kind of consolidating, come back into that level. You're expecting buyers to show up at that point until they, that level fails. Then we'll talk about them. Now, equity-wise, this is what I wanted to go into. So Monday morning, you're going to have your NVIDIA split, okay? NVIDIA will do its 10-to-1 split, so it'll open around $120 as of right now. And so my question here, and something that I've been talking about, if you held this level here, I was talking about this today. If you held that, you looked fine, but you ended up holding it. Obviously, if you broke below that, you're looking for the gap fill. Didn't happen. I'm interested to see what happens with NVIDIA. I'll do more charting once it gets halved. I'm praying for a dip, though. Like literally praying to God that we get a dip on NVIDIA down towards $1,000. If we do, I will be in 7 days of prayer for facts, because it'll be one of the greatest opportunities. So watching NVIDIA like a hawk, but we'll see what happens after the split. Other names like AMD, these have been the opportunity plays. You're trading in a clear-cut range like we've talked about. Highs of about 168.5, low end down here to 164.5. Back and forth, you're playing ping pong, as you can see. That's where at least the buyers and sellers are holding you in this range. If you can mount and hold above, 168.5, 170 on the daily, that's awesome. We're looking for a breakout here. Semiconductors still look good. We look at Micron holding key levels. AVGO, like I've mentioned as well, ready to break out. Another ascending triangle, same thing we had back here, October, November. So things to be considering, right? We'll go into the options chain a little bit here as well. But first, I do want to talk really quick about this as well. If you guys don't know, sometimes I forget to tell you guys, but this is the newsletter. It's absolutely free. The link is on our website down below, optiondrops.com. Go to newsletter. This is free for you guys. And so this is what it looks like. Every Sunday, we email this out to you. If you don't open the email, you will be taken off the newsletter list. We can track that data. So just let you know, gives you a rundown of the week, what to expect, everything we're doing, what we're looking for, favorite stocks, things along those lines. Here we talked about Apple being above 190, pushing to 193, then 197, 196, hopefully, and you push to those levels. Amazon getting back above 180, very bullish. Again, all those types of things were all in the newsletter from the past few weeks as well. So make sure you're paying close attention to that. Okay. Now, equities, what we're looking at here, I've gone a lot into semiconductors, so I don't want to spend a bulk of the video on that part of it. What I do want to talk about, though, are some big plays that I've been trying to mention to you guys. So we had CrowdStrike earnings, if you guys remember, Tuesday, Wednesday. And CrowdStrike, I think, has given the most opportunities in this sector overall. So CrowdStrike obviously is working its way into 360. Again, if you go to the daily chart, it's a clear ascending triangle forming out here. I think it's going to break out. Their earnings were phenomenal. They improved guidance. They're just one of the best companies in the cloud space. But I told you about ZS as well, right? Zscaler. Again, you're pushing back up into the 185 level. Congratulations at 181. When we mentioned this, you actually ended up dipping back down to 171. So congratulations. Another one is Pan W, holding at the end of the day at 302. Another good looking name here as well. So these are all stocks I've been looking at, right? Now, again, in a world when we look at like NVIDIA and these semiconductors are kind of expensive, I agree. But if I go and look at, something like, Micron, it's not that much, right? But if I go and look at, CrowdStrike and these names, you're able to actually trade the big breakouts, in my opinion. This is for July contracts, July 19th. This is July monthlies, right? In my opinion, this is crazy. These contracts, 360s, go look at what they were yesterday. I think I mentioned them in yesterday's video. They're at $15 now. Like, these things are moving. They're almost 40% on the day. And these highly likely to get in the money. And if you get in the money, you're probably running closer to 400 on CrowdStrike. Go to ZS. I've talked a lot about this name. I've been trying to tell you guys, right? I try to tell you guys about the opportunities and what I see. Go to July contract. These aren't just weeklies. These are like, you can hold these and feel better about them, right? These things are moving at $7 for the 185s. You go to closer to 180s, right? These are sitting at $9, right? Just slowly but surely moving up. You can actually see low on the 3rd right? Actually, we'll go to after their earnings. So after earnings, you were on the 5th, you were at about, it says $6 a contract. You're at $9, or 50% on the week so far. You've had no real red on ZS, just to let you know. Go to the 15-minute. Since CrowdStrike's earnings, there's been no red. You dipped, and then you just held up the rest of the way. Easy pickings, even with Nasdaq trending sideways. What about PanW? PanW's been a little bit red here and there, a little bit choppier. But again, good opportunities. These are for June monthlies, like 40% on the day, 50, 60%, right? So I'm trying to help you guys and show you guys some of the better looking plays that I like. These are July 19th. This is on today. We're July monthlies, right? 40 days plus expiration here. 35, 43, 55%. So they're moving very good, right? I'm not trying to gatekeep or say buy my Discord in order to, get trade ideas, right? I try to still give you some ideas while we're here every day with the time that I'm given, but still take advantage of what's in front of us, guys. Again, these are the big plays and what I like the most. And, there's a reason for some of these plays that I mentioned a lot, right? Another big play here is ARM. As long as it holds above 136, I'm a big fan of pushing back to the upside. A few of the big names that we're watching for next week, you have Apple, WWDC coming out. They're pushing AI down everyone's throats, it seems like. You mounted 196 strong. You're pushing into highs here at the end of the day. Probably testing 200 this coming week. Would be watching that with any strength from the market. It's going to probably push with ease. So definitely be paying attention there as well. Okay, this is very important. Apple, really strong looking name. Looks really good. Okay, now I also want to mention too, I always forget, but if you guys see our indicators, I sometimes have some of them off. It just looks cleaner. But if you're looking at our indicators and you're interested, guys, the link is down below for Lux Algo. You use our link and then you type in code OD40. Guys, you get 40% off everything from them, right? Just to let you know. So whatever you pay for your original purchase, I'm not signed in right now, so I don't want to sign it all the way in. But you get 40% off straight up, and you can just connect your trading view, you get all of our indicators and any new ones that come out as well. So make sure you're tapped in there as well. But again, those are my favorite names, what I'm watching. I didn't want to make too long of a video today. Pretty tired, but it was a great day. Can't complain. Everything that we wanted to happen kind of continues to happen. I think Amazon is a nice play going into next week as well, coming back into these previous highs here. Pretty nice SR flip to hopefully push back into 187 plus. Still a big fan here as well. If I'm looking at these contracts, again, I already know they're not that expensive. The best buy was above 180, but again, if you're a little late to the party, I'd be looking July 19th. And again, they're not that bad. At the money positions are about 8.5. Again, these still all make sense. Big fan of what's happening here. You look good. And I think the market still looks pretty healthy. We'll see what happens with next week going into some of those data days and what's happening there. We don't want to rush the gun, but again, more setups coming. Happy you guys have been killing it this week. I'll see you on Sunday.